right, we'll get started. Hello, everyone. So excited to be here and to see lots of you attending. I have with me Shaked in here. Shaked, you're with us.
Hey, everyone. Great to be here. Thanks for joining our webinar today.
All right, so we're going to talk today about how to manage inventory efficiently on Monday. My name is Noam. I'm the CRO of Spot-nik, Monday.com Platinum Partner. We do marketplace apps, and together with me, Shaked from Monday.com. And I'll let Shaked get started with a bit background on why we're even doing this.
Thanks so much. And I see that we still have more and more attendees joining us. So first, I would like to say thank you for everyone that were able to join us today. I'm super excited about this one. I've been working with Spot-nik for a long time. And I think that inventory management as a solution engineering director in Monday is one of the most interesting use cases that I encounter. And one of my key takeaways is that whenever you're facing something around inventory management, I think you need, or you might need, a hand-holding of a partner, because the vanilla or the generic won't be sufficient or enough. And when we talk about inventory management, we talk about the core element of the business. So we need to make sure that this becomes the beating heart or the spine of the business. We need to make sure that this operates not in near real time, but actually in real time, right? Like I think every millisecond counts, and we'll talk about it in a sec. Wonderful. So I think I wanted to open with a little bit talking about the challenges, like what have we seen, what have we heard from our huge customer base, and what also the public research says about inventory management. So first, it impacts the bottom line, poor inventory management, cost revenue, right? This is the number one value driver that makes organization change things and change the way they operate. There is no translator in the middle, right? Like if inventory management doesn't work, it can harm the costs, it can harm the revenue, it can create risks. It's all there. Not only it's connected to the bottom line, I think that it's also supporting like churn, and it allows like basically to go to the competitors. So it's a huge, huge risk for us. We live today in a world which is very immediate, very instant. When I order something, I want to know, I want to get visibility. When am I going to get it? And I also want to get it ASAP. There's no patience anymore in the consumption world, right? So I think that if we don't want to give away our customers to competitors, we need to make sure that we're doing it right. We saw how inaccurate, especially in small retailers, the inventory management is. We saw how huge or how big is the impact on small businesses, which I think a lot of you come from when I've seen the list of people joining us today. In addition, we see some, the figures the figure very much talks for themselves. But I think that all of this tells us what are the problems. And if you can relate to at least one or two challenges of what you see here, I'm sure you can do better things with Monday.com. Next slide, please.
Okay, so already presented myself briefly. I use just to join up to what Shaked says. I used to work 5 years together with Shaked at Monday.com, and this is one of the key things I see clients looking for. So when I joined Spot-nik beginning of the year, this is the first thing I wanted to tackle, to get an out-of-the-box solution for inventory management within Monday.com. So you don't have to go to other softwares and get out of Monday, because it's an amazing software, and I really felt that it could, with a little bit effort and tweak, it can make it to manage your inventory right inside Monday. As I mentioned, we're a Platinum Partner. We have other apps. You might recognize some of them, but we're here to talk about inventory. So let's get started. We're going to do most of the session today would be a live demo, so we will see actually how to do it. We will start with the very basic, how to keep track on your stock inside Monday.com, how to set up your catalog, how to customize it, keeping track on your warehouse utilization, which is another aspect that I hear a lot of clients that are looking for. We're also going to talk not only about consumable inventory, but also for those of you who have serial number inventory, for example, IT equipment. So we're going to see how you can manage that as well. What will you do if you have multiple locations, and how you can also integrate that into other systems. I'm sure some of you working with external systems, Shopify, QuickBooks, etc., and you would want to know how you can connect this into your inventory. So
Just before we sum up, maybe just my take. I know that I won't be able to be here all day long, but for me, I'm super excited about this one. If I have to leave you with like my message or my spirit as like the solution, as the one who managed the solution engineering, like in EMEA and Latin America, is running out of stocks means lost revenue. I don't want you to lose revenue. I want you to be on the profitable side, right? The other one is the lack of real-time visibility for your customers makes it hard for you and for them to stay on top. And in a world where we don't have visibility, we basically don't create engagement and a meaningful relationship. And the slow manual updates, as you can see here in bullet number 3, creates errors and delays, and that harms the entire business environment. So if I have to leave you with what have we seen, what have we heard, what are we able to tackle together with Spot-nik, these are the main three of why value proposition of doing a combined offering with Spot-nik for inventory management. That's my segue to you now.
thank you, Shaked. Shaked just had a baby a few days ago and joined us for a few minutes. So I appreciate your time. Thank you, Shaked.
Sure.
And now, without further ado, let's see how it looks in a live demo inside Monday. So we'll start with the very much basics. So we'll go in here. So inventory, it's an app. I will show after how you download it and how you install it. But basically, once you have it installed on your monday.com, this is what you will see. You would have here a numerous amount of boards. You're going to have here getting started, so you can see exactly how to set it up with summary. You're going to have your main dashboard and a list of boards. So the first thing you're going to see when you go into the inventory solution, you have a really nice and clean glance. What's going on in your stock? How many products you have in stock? What is your total stock value? You can also keep track on your capacity utilization. Am I using all my space, or I'm not using all my space? Below that, you have here a really nice widget to see exactly where you stand within your stock. So how many percentage of your products are in low stock, out of stock, etc. You can drill down. So in this example, I would see that notebooks, for example, I currently have only 5, but since I set the minimum level to be 50, that means that I'm running low on this and I should order more. I will also get push notification. I can see that I'm out of stock on sticky papers as well. Going a little bit below that, this is the heart of the solution. Here I have here a widget that shows me my product catalog. This is a very simplified example with a small amount of products, but you can have here as many as you want, thousands, up to 1,000 of products you can add in here. And this is your work area. You can also, by the way, use it from a tablet. And let's say now I'm organizing an event and I want to take to my event out of my stock notebooks and pens, or I just sold it for a customer, it doesn't matter, but I want to take it out of my stock. So I'm just choosing the products I want. I can search for them, filter in any way I want. So let's say, just for the sake of the example, I'll take 5. The maximum notebooks I can, you can see it doesn't let me take more than 5, but that's my current quantity. And I'll also take 10 pens, which will get me below the minimum level. I'll click next. Here I have a bunch of fields. I can add a comment. So this will be webinar demo, and I'll click update stock. Very simple, very easy to use, this is what we try to build. So you can easily do it yourself. Again, you can also do that from a tablet. What will now happen in the background is we're going to get a record of what we call a stock update. So I'll go to my stock updates board. I'll scroll all the way down. You can see the comment I just wrote, webinar demo. And I have here a detailed of all the products that I took out. So I can see here the 5 notebooks and 10 pens I took out. I can see the quantities before and quantities after. The next thing that will happen, we're also breaking down those sub-items. This is, of course, native Monday board. We're breaking into what we call transactions. So here I would have the same information, only broken down into items. So you can see here the webinar demo. The reason we're doing that is from technical reasons. So then you can also generate your own dashboards, whatever dashboards you want, automation. So it really helps to maximize and leverage Monday flexibility when we do it in that sense. And from here, it will automatically update our product. So if I'll now go to my inventory management dashboard, I will let it refresh a second, and I will see that now my notebooks are out of stock and my pens went into low stock, so we changed the labels. And I will also get push notifications. I can see it in here that my notebooks are now out of stock. So now I know I need to order new stock. Going back to the inventory system, if I go to my products board, okay, here I can see all my products. This is where what we saw before in the dashboard, this is where all the information is being pulled from, okay? And I will also have here a history of all of my transactions. So if I click on the notebooks, I'll drill down into my item card, I will have here all the details about my product, some pictures, and I will also see here the history of all the transactions. You can see the record I just created on the bottom right. On the bottom right, the webinar demo, I just took out 5 notebooks from my inventory. So I have at all time also history. So if I want to go back and see what happened, I can also use that to get, of course, forecast and understanding of how am I using my inventory, and that will help us better prepare for the future and to make sure we're always in stock and we're never running out of stock. All right, so we talked about the dashboard, the template structure. We saw a simple stock update and low stock notification. Just one word about how you install it. So as I mentioned, this is an out of the box. Everything I showed you right now is ready out of the box. In order to install it, you go to the marketplace, you search for inventory and you install it. I will not go through it right now. After you install it, all you have to do is just to also install go to the template center, search for inventory, and install the inventory template by Spot-nik with this background, and you will have all those boards and dashboards. Cool. Moving on to next. How can I customize it a little bit further? All right. So as I mentioned, the product, we try to build up the product in a way that will be also easy to use, but also leverages the flexibility of Monday. So if, for example, I want to have, of course, every company works in a different way, and I don't want to have different information on my products. So this information is being pulled from the products board. We recommend you can edit this product board in any way you want. Feel free to add here as many columns as you want. We recommend not to delete any, but if you want to add, you can add. You're gonna find here already the very basic fields and columns, SKU, description, price per unit. So better use the existing ones. And if you're missing some information, you can just add it. For example, maybe I have to my products, I have an expiry date because that's the type of business I'm running. Expiry date, sorry for the misspell, doesn't matter. And I can choose here a date. And I want to see also this information on my dashboard. So I'll go back after I added it to my board. I can just easily go to the dashboard and customize it as well. I'm going to the settings and I'm gonna add here in the product section, I'll scroll all the way down, I will add expiry date, and that will be shown in here as well. So this is how I can customize my product catalog, so you can choose which columns and fields you wanna keep track on and you want to see them in here as well. Now, what if I want to also save information that is related to my stock update or to my order? For example, every time I do something, I want to relate that to a specific project or to a specific client. I'm taking out of stock, I want to know to which client I did that for. So the way to do that, basically the form that we see in here, like clicking next. So this data is being pulled from the stock updates board. So in the same manner, I'm going to the stock updates board and I can add here as many columns as I want. I can also add a more advanced type of columns. So for example, I can use here, if I'm using already Monday in other boards or Monday CRM, I can connect it to that. So in this case, I have another board which I'm using in my CRM, that there I have the list of all of my clients. The name of that board is accounts. I'll connect it. I will not do a mirror column. And now when I go to back to my dashboard in the same manner, I'll go here to the settings and we'll add that very easily. And now every time I will do a stock update, in this example, I'll take out 2 pens, and I can also say to which client this is related to. So in this case, to Apple, demo 2, I'll click update stock, and this information will be captured later on in my stock updates board. I will go now to my stock updates and I will see this information captured. Of course, now that I have this information, very easy to generate dashboards and statistics and any information I want to be able to see in here. And I will show a couple of examples in a moment. If I'll go in to this example, just to show you a couple of examples you can do once you tailor it a bit more to your needs. So here we have an example with much more products, of course, and I can see, for example, the different type of products that I have by the different suppliers, and I can also see how many deals I have by the different clients that I have. It's very easy to generate standard Monday usage, and you can add it to your inventory management dashboard in the same manner. Important thing I forgot to mention, you can also use, instead of doing that manually as I showed you, you can also use a QR code or barcodes. Very simple and easy to do that. So instead of selecting here manually, you can also use that in a tablet or connected to a barcode scanner, and then you will have this screen. You just scan the barcode, and basically it will take you to this screen with the amount of products that you set. How do I do this setting? So when you click on scan QR barcode, you have here a setting option. By default, it will be take out of stock 1, so it will automatically reduce 1 item, but you can customize it every time you scan. It will take out more than that, or it will add to stock depending on your use case. Another important thing about that, by default, it is using, you can generate those QR codes and they will be saved in the products board by the item ID. If you already have QR codes or barcodes and you have the numbers, you can just add them as a new column to any column you want in a new column in the products board, and you just have to select that column in here. Again, by default, it will take the number from the item ID. And you can also create, you will also have by default here in the products board an automation that save this barcode in a column named QR barcode image. So you can use that, print it, and put it in your warehouse. If you don't have anything at all, it will be created automatically when you add new products. Ram, do we have any questions from the crowd? I see that we don't have, so...
Yeah, no questions yet. You're welcome to ask in the question
yes,
Q&A.
there is a Q&A, so feel free to ask questions and we will answer them as we go. In the meantime, I will continue. And now I'm moving on to the next topic, space utilization. So one of the things I heard a lot of clients talking about, that how do we make sure we're utilizing in the most efficient way our space, that we're making sure that we're not renting too much space or we're running out of space. So we can also use the inventory solution to do that. We have a very simple way to do that. Basically, the way that it works in the products board, you're going to have, I'll scroll down a little bit, you're going to have to the right, you're going to have a column that shows you for every item, what is the product volume, all right? And you can, of course, tailor it to your own needs. In this case, you can change the measure of unit to whatever measure of unit you're using. It could be liters, whatever you want, just standard the Monday change. And from here, you would see the how much capacity this is taking. It will automatically calculate the stock volume. And then you can connect it to your warehouse. So what do I mean by connecting it to your warehouse? We have here a board that says warehouse. The warehouse is basically, think of it as a map of your warehouse, and you can tailor it in any way you want. So in our example, we called it aisles, but of course you can have different naming. You can rename. We have aisles and shelves, but you can have, for example, small room. All right, you have two places, and you don't have shelves. You have containers. So you can basically use it in any way you want. And the way that it works is for every product, you basically say, or for every shelf or space, you say which products you have in there. So you can just choose from here the products, and all the rest will be automatically calculated. You can also do it, it will pull all the information in here and will calculate the usage of that space. I just need to say what is the capacity. So for example, 400, and the minimum level would be 200, and then it will calculate automatically all the rest. You can also do that from the products board. Just assign in the warehouse column every product to a specific space. Then what will happen at the end, when you go to the inventory management, it basically summarizes all that information into this nice view, and you can see how much you're using your space. I see that you started asking questions. That is great. And Ram here will answer those, and I will take some of them soonish also in front of everyone. So this is around space utilization. Moving on, asset management. Another topic that we've been getting asked a lot, what if my inventory is not consumable inventory, but I want to keep track on my inventory has serial numbers, and I want to keep track on it. So a classic example for that would be IT equipment, right? I want to keep track on my laptops, monitors, etc. in my office. So we also provided a solution for that. One important note, the solution for asset management, it's a different template. So in order to use it, after you install the inventory app, you go to the template center, you can search for inventory, and you will find two options. You have the inventory. This is what I was talking about up until now. If you want serial numbers, install the asset management. How does it work? So it works in a similar way, a little bit different, but you will recognize that the user experience is pretty much similar. I have here a main dashboard where I can see the same information, how many products I have in, warehouse utilization, am I running out of stock or not? The product catalog works in a bit different way. Here we see all my products, all my SKU. When I click on something, I can see whether I have availability or not, but when I click on it, it will drill down into the actual serial numbers I have from that product. So for example, I have a new employee and I want to assign him with a MacBook and maybe Windows. I'm clicking on the MacBook. Now I see all the different specific serial number MacBooks I have in stock. I see I have 2 available and 1 in use. I can, of course, filter in here if I want from the top right. I want to assign them to this specific MacBook, and I also want to assign them to Windows or a monitor, it doesn't matter. So I will choose this. I'll click next. The transaction screen in here, I also need to say who am I assigning it for. If you're not doing it, if you're doing it for a client and not for a person from within the company, so as we showed before, you can customize this screen and change it to a connect board column, status column, whatever column that you want. In this case, I will assign it to Guy, and webinar demo, I'll click here, update assets. Now what will happen, I will go to my assets board, which is a bit different. So here you might have seen that the MacBook Pro that I just assigned is still available. So there are some automations that are running behind the scenes, but I have here one group that shows the available assets that I have and one that are in use. And you can see that the ones that were available now automatically popped to the in use, and they got someone assigned to them. And of course, all this information will also be reflected back in my main dashboard. So now I can see I have a bit less stock available to assign to people or for sale, depending on your use case. And of course, the notifications will work in a similar manner. So a bit more information about the assets. So we have here actually same board. So we just added another board that we call assets. Here you see the specific serial numbers, and they are connected to what we call the asset product, which is basically the SKU. You can see that for each asset, you can also keep track on the purchase date, asset age, warranty expiry date. So it gives you more options for the information you want to keep track on. When I go to the parent level of the asset product, I can also see from here for each product, I can see how many of these assets are available, how many are in use, where they are placed. I can write down the warranty period, and I can also see all the history transactions, either for all of them. I can also see it by product in the transactions board. So per product, I can see the history of all the transactions. In a moment, I will also tackle some of the questions. I'll go back to the asset management dashboard. So again, here I have a bit different information. So one of the things this allows me, I can keep track on my average age per product. I can see transactions over time. So if, for example, I have some assets that are old, I can set up in here a dashboard that will show me the old assets. In this case, I chose more than 3, so I know it's already out of warranty. So maybe it's time for me to renew my inventory. I have here also information on the ones that are in top demand, in top usage. We would also see similar stuff in the consumable products. All right, I see there are a lot of questions going on. Ram, do you want to maybe, are there some questions that mentioned to speak about?
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up with all your questions. It's very nice to get all of them. Someone asked about tracking different size or colors. So today you can add few products per color, for example. We are thinking maybe support in the future grouping ability, but it's still on early design levels, so I cannot guarantee about how it will completely work. But we are thinking about it in the future.
Just to add on that, first of all, the answer is yes. You can use it for different sizes and different colors. The way to do it right now is just to have, you're going to have the same product a couple of times, basically. And you're going to have here different columns. So you're going to have here a column for color, for example, if you're running clothes. So here you're going to have the color of the product, etc. Each of them have different SKU. So it's basically separate products so you can manage them. What Ram was talking about, we will also consider in the future to find a nicer way in terms of the user experience to see it in here. So you're going to have more granularity to drill down into it. But right now, even if you have a couple of products with same name, same color, you can still easily see that. You just write here the name. If I'll go to back to my products board, and I have here a shirt blue and shirt white. When I go back to my dashboard, of course, I need to add in here all the information, but you can easily also filter and see the relevant information for that just by using the filters. So I'll just search here shirts, and now I will see all the specific products by the different color and sizes in here, and you can have here customized here the right columns to see the sizes and color right in here, so it's very easy to differentiate. So it could easily work for that as well. In the future, we will add more granularity in a similar way that I showed in the asset management.
Yeah. Next, about syncing your current products to inventory. So today you cannot sync it automatically, at least not with our solution. You can have a make flow or something like that, but you can create products with an CSV or an Excel. So if your current solution can export, then you can import it into our inventory solution.
Yeah, so it's a good question that I was planning to show. basically, again, to see your products, you can either add them in here manually into the products board. You can also add them one by one from the product catalog, but the best way is to import them for a CSV. The way to do it, it's the same way as you do it in Monday. You can just Google search Monday import from Excel, and you basically click here on import products, and you can import all of them in bulk into the board. My recommendation would be to first tailor the fields that you want, add them in here, export this board, prepare the CSV outside, and then import it back in here. I will take up the last question and then I will move on. I saw a question if this is supported in which Monday products. So important to say this is supported in all Monday products and versions, Pro, Standard, CRM, Dev. You can basically use it anywhere.
Noam,
The answer was about free version, but the question was about free version. I must say I'm not sure about that because we are dependent on the connect board column, and we need to see. I will need to check that. But that's a good point. Noam, did we check that?
I don't know. We can check and come back later. But
Noam, there is one question I would like you to reply on regarding asset management. So Susan is asking if you can have quantity per assets. So I don't think it was much clear. If you can go, there are two different boards, the product asset and the assets board. So the asset product board basically summarize the number of assets per type. So you can see you have MacBook, Lenovo, and Windows, and in the assets board, you see the real assets by serial number. So basically the asset product board is the group by board for the assets.
Exactly. So basically in here, just for the sake of to make it clear, so I have MacBook. In the asset products, I would see one. In the assets board here, we would see all the different MacBooks I have. So all of them it's the same product, but with different serial numbers. It might have a different age because I purchased it in another date, but all of them are the same product. And you would see all of them are connected to the same parent product item. From the lack of time, if you allow me to move on, and I will try to get back for more questions at the end. So another question frequently asked, what if we manage multiple inventory locations? We have a couple of warehouses, maybe a couple of sites. How can we do that in the inventory solution? So the recommendation would be to do it in the following manner. Basically, you can install our inventory. You can have multiple instances of our inventory. So what we would recommend is to basically install another template and just to rename it. So you have I would have the first template. I renamed it to Inventory Warehouse 1. And then I installed another template and I renamed it to Inventory Warehouse 2. And basically now I have two instances for two different sites. Each of them have, of course, separate inventory that I want to keep track on. So I'm managing them separately. And what I can do next is I can create a dashboard that pulls information from both of these instances. And it would look something like this. So I have here a dashboard that is connected to the two products board of the instances I installed. And here I can see an overall look of what is my stock status. I can also see if I have same products in both locations. I can see, for example, for sticky papers, I have 50 available in Warehouse 2, and I have 26 more available in Warehouse 1. So I have a high-level overview per each product on all of my facilities. And I can also have this view where I basically see the list of my products one by one. So I can see here from Warehouse 1, here from Warehouse 2, and I can see it in the same screen. So this is how to tackle multiple locations. All right, last topic, and then more questions and answers. Another frequently asked question, what if I want, I'm working with another system, I'm working with Shopify, or I'm managing my orders in Monday, but in Monday CRM. How can I connect that to the inventory solution? So essentially, the way to do it is as following. So I have here my list of my boards. Basically, we build a solution in a way that you can easily integrate it to any other system. All the dashboards and everything would work. But if you're saying that you're updating your stock, you don't want to do it from here, from our interface, you can also do it on your own. So basically, all you need to take care of is to make sure you create items in the transaction board in the same format we're doing. Basically, you need to write the product name. It has to match exactly to how it's written in the product board. You need to mention what type of action you're doing. Are you adding into stock or taking out to stock? And the amount. Once you do that, all the rest will automatically work. It will automatically update your stock. Your dashboards will automatically be updated. So basically, Monday has a bunch of ready-made integrations. We also have a lot of, if there is a system that is not out of the box integrated to Monday, you can use one of the partners or make in order to integrate it. And you just need to make sure to create those items in here, and all the rest will automatically work. And I'll show you even an example. Let's take another example. Let's say I want to manage my orders in a separate board, or you know what? I want to allow people from outside of Monday to take orders in. And I also want to be able to keep, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to keep track on shipments and deliveries and to keep track on that part. So I have here an example how to do orders in a separate board. Let's see how it would work. So I'm using here the disclaimer. I'm using here a form, another product of ours called SuperForm. So let's say I have a new customer order and I have someone that is inserting that order. I'm choosing the name of the customer. The email will be automatically populated. Webinar demo. I'm clicking next. Here I can choose my products. So in this case, let's take out one notebook. I'll keep on editing and I will take it out of stock. And I will also take another product. Let's do sticky papers and take 5 of those. I'm leveraging here SuperForm. You can also use it for signatures, and I'm submitting. What will happen now in the background? A new record will be created in my board. A new order has been created with the new information. This is it. This is the new order I just created. So here I have a draft. I can also add the expected delivery date because that's part of my process. And the information is also saved in my board. When I click new order, now what will happen now in the background, we created some automations that essentially changing this to new order, and it will create items in the transactions board. So I'm showing, I did it now manually, but this part will also be part of our solution soon. So it's in a roadmap to add it out of the box, and that will work for you as well. Essentially, what this gives me is when I'm going through that process, I will basically be able to keep track. I have here an order with an expected delivery date, and then when I'll go to my dashboard, I will be able to differentiate between stock that is in hand on the shelf and stock that I see it on the shelf, but it's allocated to someone. What do I mean? So for example, if I'm looking now at the pilot pen, so the stock that I see on the shelf is 71. I know that 29 of those is already ordered, but it hasn't been shipped yet. So it's still in my warehouse, so I can have this view that I see that part of my stock has already been shipped. And I still have, this is the actual stock I have available for sale. So this gives another level of complexity if you would like to use that. So this will be released also soon to the inventory solution. I will stop now. I see that we have 3 more minutes, and I also want to take up a couple of more questions just to summarize before I answer the question, to get back to the basics. I showed a lot of things, a lot of them are technical. Of course, there was not a lot of time, but the basics of the solution and why inventory can help you. First of all, what Shaked said at the beginning, loss of being out of stock, meaning loss of revenue. The basics of this solution is to keep track on your stock. You have an easy interface and you're getting low stock alerts to make sure you always have your stock inside and you have real-time visibility to know your stock levels. That is the basics. If you want to try it, I'll put here in the background while I'm taking a few questions. You can scan this barcode, install it, try it out for free. It's not a free product, but you can try it out for free up to 10 products, and afterwards there are different packages you can purchase, but up to 10 products is for free. Just scan it and give it a try. Now with the 3 minutes left, let's take a few more questions. Ram, do you have some questions you want to choose for us that are relevant?
Yeah, so someone asked about the QR code if they are working globally. So you said maybe it was not clear. You can use any QR code or barcode that you already have or need to generate, and you just need to put the value of the barcode in a bold column. And then in the setting, you can just, in the setting of the QR code scanner in the app, you can just change the column and it will work. So even if you already have an product with a barcode that the company gave you, like the manufacturer, you can use the same barcode that he gave you, like a Coca-Cola bottle. You can just use the same barcode as there. So yeah, I think that means if it works globally. About the public interface, so there is no public interface for products to give for the clients, customers. It's currently only internally to manage your stock, but I think it's a great idea. We can add it to our roadmap and think about it.
The availability of products, that was the question, outside of Monday?
Yes, to give a catalog for clients, like a shop. Yeah, 2 people asked if we will send a video. So yeah, we will send a video after the webinar. Let's see. Oh, so someone asked about the CRM. So CRM orders to manage into the adjust. So you showed it. So it can work between CRMs, between service, between work management, between boards inside the same workspace, different workspaces. You just need to create an automation that create the transaction as Noam showed. And I think, there are 2 more questions I didn't answer yet. One of them is great. The QR code is working also on mobile and tablet, but we currently have an issue with the monday.com app. So if you want to use it in the mobile, you will need to log in with a browser to monday.com. We are trying to fix it with monday.com. It's something about permission with your Android or iOS device. But currently you can use the browser and not the monday.com mobile app. We are working with them, and I hope it will be solved soon. I think that's it.
All right. Everyone, thank you for joining. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to support@spotnik.com. You can also reach out directly to me, noam.lapidot@spotnik.com. We will share the recording of this webinar, and we'll also create more videos and more specific guides how to use. And we're happy also to hop on calls to help you set up your specific use case. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope it was informative. Have a great rest of the day.